Okay, we start here. We cross to our reporter Kamogelo Segoy, who is outside the Dr. Rentlai Petrus Molemela Stadium in Mangaung, just making sure that we touch base with, just to find out on the happenings there. A very good morning to you, Kamogelo. Thank you so much for your time this morning. How is the security looking outside the stadium this morning?
We actually have the municipal spokesperson for Mangaung to tell us about the security. But what we've seen now, thousands of people have made their way into the stadium. There's quite a high level of traffic congestion, and a lot of people are without parking. We've been told, obviously, before by the municipality that the surveillance around the stadium, but Kondile Kerama, who's here with us, will tell us more about the security around the stadium. What plans have they made to ensure that the people who are here are safe and the people who are outside the stadium are also safe?
Let's start with the parking. There are a number of areas that we've identified as private parking, including the schools that are adjacent to the event itself. But what we also did, there is a park and ride approach that we are using. People are just being dropped and buses are getting out of the precinct. The precinct is fully secured in terms of CCTV cameras, just to make sure that people are safe, and if there's anything, we're able to follow it up. We have sent those messages before, just to alert people that you are under surveillance. Please behave, cooperate, and deal with law enforcement people. But to date, I must say, yes, the traffic volumes are high, but there is cooperation, I must say, amongst revelers, but people in the city, because remember, you cannot undermine citizens who are doing their normal activities, much as we want to appreciate the hosting of such a big event. Now, we are comfortable, and you can see now we haven't had any case. We are keeping in touch with the security cluster, and they've told us that the only thing that they are managing now, it's numbers of people in the stadium itself. What we also did, because of the capacity of the stadium, when you get in, you get a sticker, so that we know how many stickers that are out there. As soon as that number of stickers are out, then you stop taking people inside the stadium, so that you also manage the crowd. Because one of the things that we need to avoid, it's a stampede. You know the cases of stampede historically, so we want to avoid that.
Okay, speaking of stampede, and obviously your stickers that you're saying that you'll be using to make sure that you don't have an overflow of people in the stadium, how exactly are you going to make sure the contingency in case more people want to go into the stadium?
Well, we have managed numbers in such a way that those stickers regulate the crowds. Unfortunately, you can't risk the lives of people simply because others want to be inside the stadium. So this is what really we'll have to learn to live with, unfortunately.
I've seen that the dignitaries are already starting to arrive in the stadium. In terms of safety, especially for them, as they get into the stadium, have you made sure as the municipality that there's not going to be any disruptions?
Look, the program of the ruling party or governing party has been intense. Obviously, it has also stretched our resources in terms of traffic officers, in terms of people who must assist that people are safe and so. So the president is from Vaihoek, one of our heritage sites, of which we do appreciate because it also puts the profile and the image of the image of the city to another level. So we appreciate that. The final big event, it's making sure that I'm disrupted a bit. I'm sorry for that. It's making sure that one, people to enjoy their event, but equally they must respect each other, and they must cooperate, because if we are not going to do that, there's absolutely no way in which we can see ourselves elevating some of the activities that we have, because it it tests the reputation of the municipality.
Let's talk about some of the issues that people have raised in terms of the service delivery. We know that when there's events like this in the metro, there will be groups that will want to protest, there will be groups that want to voice their concerns. Have you been in engagement with such groups in the metro?
The issue of service delivery, it's a burning issue in the city. Now, when you bring an event of this magnitude with the leadership of the ruling party, all of them, they must be able to get the plight of these people, that there are sewer spillages, there are water leakages. And one of the things that was raised by one of the ministers, for example, the outgoing Minister of Transport, he's one of the people who assisted us to make sure that we get Mushweshwe working. Last month, Mushweshwe was open to public. Now, we would want the same approach to happen into the underground infrastructure through Water and Sanitation Department. We would want to make sure that the National Treasury understand the plight of people of Mangaung, so that people are not exposed to inhuman situation that they find themselves in. So I'm happy because there are interactions that are happening at the level of leadership, and I am sure that at some point people will be able to get what they want, because really if you go around during the weekend, so we have had people complaining. I'm personally seeing these things myself. We need a strong leadership at the level of the city, of which is something that I think is being dealt with, both administratively and otherwise. And I'm sure we'll take this municipality to another level once those issues of leadership have been dealt with. And I'm optimistic that people will do what is right for the community of Mangaung.
Thank you so much, Ntato, for the interview. As you have it there in studio, the metro is well prepared for the traffic congestion. It's well prepared for whatever eventualities that might take place in terms of security around the stadium. The ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to speak at 12 o'clock when he makes his way here from Vaihoek, where there was a church service this morning. And with that, is back to you in studio.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Kamogelo, my colleague there outside the stadium. We are still at the Wesleyan Church in Vaihoek, where the ANC NEC members were here to do a prayer session before they head to Dr. Rantlai Molemela Stadium. This is where the Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, addressed the members here. He was talking about the significance of them coming here today. But I'd like to bring a member of ANC Womens League just to talk about the role that has been played by women in this organization up to so far. Stella Ndabeni Abrams, thank you very much for joining us. Just tell us about how women have been critical in the formation and even in the development of the ANC up to so far.
Well, firstly, let me say happy birthday to the African National Congress. Not each and every party that gets to celebrate 111 years. And I'm saying that because we really now appreciate the role that has been played by the women, as you mentioned earlier, from the beginning of the formation of the ANC. Whilst you acknowledge that they decided to converge as men, but there was at least one woman who was able to attend. But as you move forward, if you look at the strides that women have decided to take action against the injustices of the past that were there, it was women that even started with the Women's Charter, mobilizing women in order to inject some energy in the ANC. But at the center of it is that role that God has given to women, of making sure that at all times they provide support. Because as the men were going at the forefront of the challenges that they were going through, they had to go to war, they needed people to provide counseling, they needed people to make sure that they can keep the families okay or in good order. But at the center of it, there were women who dedicated themselves in ensuring that they educate all those young ones that left their homes. And this is what has made the ANC to be. That the men and the boys that we had in the ANC were mothered and they had sisters. And these women are women that did not decide to say, we're going to play everything by the kitchen side. They said, we're going to go out there, we're going to fight for our country, we're going to fight for the injustices. And this is why today we're celebrating 111 years. All the great things, whether you're talking about the development, whether you're talking about mobilization of the society, but the entire building of the social cohesion that we're talking about, the ANC, women were at the center. But of course, we're not great storytellers as women. We're not good to tell the stories that we're going for. And we are saying things must change.
Well, let's talk about the latest development. After the 55th National Elective Conference, we saw the representation of women at least increasing, unlike in the past. How are you feeling about that, and how do you think that will get into the development of the party moving forward?
Actually, we must also acknowledge the role that has been played by our male counterparts, who also saw the need to partner with us and heed the call that we made, that when we said in the policy conference that one of the recommendations is to make sure that at least we get 50% of women in the top 6 then. And this is what we have achieved. As we talk about that, it is not something that just happened overnight. You understand that you have to push. The doors are locked, we've got to kick them, but as we kick them, we've got to nudge and make them understand that it's not about women trying to take over power, but it's women reclaiming their space to say, we are equals, we also have a role to play in order to complement whatever that is being done by our male counterparts. And South Africa right now requires all women to stand up in defense of the social ills that we see, in defense of the unemployment that we're talking about. Women have to be liberated economically, and it is them that must provide that leadership. It is them that must lead those businesses so that they can be liberated at home and be able to fight against the social ills I mentioned earlier.
Thank you very much. That is the ANC Womens League member Stella Ndabeni Abrams, just talking about the significance of the role that has been played by women in the party, reiterating what was said earlier on in the church by the second Deputy Secretary General Marupeni Ramohopa, who was talking about the role that has been played by women, and also acknowledging the fact that this time around, after the National Elective Conference that was just ended a few days ago, that now they have a representation of women, at least it has increased, and also saying that they need to move forward, continue to fight, and continue to make sure that they play a very significant role in the ANC. But now we understand that some of the NEC members have moved to the museum here at Vaihoek just to go through some of the history of this place. But earlier on, Paul Mashatile, the Deputy President of the ANC, was talking about the significance of them coming here, and also saying that as the party, they need to rebuild and strengthen the party moving forward, and also looking back to the times of O.R. Tambo, saying that in 1991, when he came back, he said that he is handing over this ANC strong and better. And now Paul Mashatile appealing to members, saying that this generation must make sure that the ANC doesn't die in their hands. They must ensure that when they leave, they also leave the ANC as strong, as better as it was left to them in 1991 by O.R. Tambo. But also talking about the fact that he believes that the ANC will still be present and very relevant come 2024, repelling some of the rumors, saying that they've been hearing rumors that the ANC is dying, the ANC is declining, assuring some of the members who were here at Vaihoek that by coming here, they are also strengthening themselves moving forward to the elective conference in 2024. With that, I will hand over to my colleague at Dr. Rantai Mulemela Stadium, Natasha Piri.
Well, it certainly is the hive of activity here at the Dr. Mulemela Stadium, I beg your pardon. And of course, you've got various ANC members here, not only ANC members, but community members, eagerly waiting and anticipating to hear what ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa has to say and what marching orders he'll be giving them. Of course, there are people who came from all and sundry across the country. You're joined by people here that came all the way from Bushbuck Ridge, Mpumalanga Puti Siabongiskatako. You came all the way from Mpumalanga at Bushbuck Ridge. What do you expect to hear from the president?
Ngiyabonga. Ku-President sifuna kuzwa ukuthi kwenzakalani ngendaba yegezi uma ngasilungisela le ndaba yegezi ngiko lokho ngathi sibona ngathi kuyamhlulekisa ku-President kodwa uma ngalungisa kona lokho okunye u-President wethu siyamthemba that's why simnikezele lithuba ukuba aphinde futhi sibone ukuthi usiphatheleni ngokuzayo.
Well, the gentleman here talking about the energy crisis of which the ANC had also said that they want to do away with load shedding. Let me bring this conversation to Usisi now. Also, what are you expecting to hear from the president, and are you happy with this new leadership collective? Do you think that this leadership collective will actually unite the ANC?
Lento lo ngi-expectile ku-president wokuqala ngi-expecte i-unity and youth unemployment rate ne-service delivery emakhaya la sibuya khona kakhulukhulu ngiyayithemba le leadership le anayo upresident kakhulu ngijabulisa ngokubona i-Womens League le ikhona yadominate kule cabinet enayo nema-ANC Youth League graduate le anayo sengiyathemba kuyo yonke lento lesifunayo kupresident njengoba komhlangano ngomqondo lo banayo kuhlangane kwabantu njengoba ngibona ngakhona ngibona ukuthi ngathemba ukuthi utokhona kuyenda.
Usisi, they're talking about issues around a high unemployment rate, hoping that the president will actually fix these issues. Not only the president, but the leadership collective of the ANC. Let me also take this conversation to Sisi. Do you think this new leadership will then deal with issues around service delivery, not only la eMangaung kodwa la uphuma khona wena eMpumalanga?
Mina bengithanda ukuthi president angasikhohlwa uma akakhumbula wonke ma province la ambiselile angakhohlwa akakhumbule ngato donke tinsita leti tidingeka emphakathini nebantu labasaswela tindlu tokulala atibuyise emphakathini abanike wonke lama province anganike lisayiti linye kubuyele kube nelibumbano kubuyele ANC yakudzala lebe sikhule siyati yona. Ngiyabonga.
Usisi, they're saying that they want the old ANC should be revived to its glorious movement. Sisi, you're also from Mangaung, you're from Bloemfontein. Seeing that this is the birthplace of the ANC, where the ANC was founded 111 years ago, are you happy with the state of the ANC currently?
At the moment, I'm not happy with the state of the ANC, but with this celebration here, I'm hopeful that things are going to be changed. The ANC is going to be united. There's going to be service delivery. There's going to be work. There's going to be projects. There's going to be road safety. Everything's going to be intact after this celebration here.
Also, Mangaung has been placed under administration. I mean, not only as an ANC member, just tell me about your lived experiences, how service delivery is affected and how it actually affects you.
As I'm from Reddersburg, a small town just outside Bloemfontein, yes, service delivery is not accordingly. The municipality is under a lot of frustrations. There's lack of water. We're suffering with maintenance of sewage and people work unemployment. But I'm hopeful that with this unity, everything is going to be intact. Policies are going to be maintained. Work is going to be created. Youth is going to be employed.
I like the fact that you touch on the policies of the ANC. Which policy resolution stood out for you?
The policy that I want to be stand up is for the age of employment, the 18 to 35. It is unfair and it does not accommodate the youth. Youth beyond 40, they are not working, but the unemployment grant hopefully is creating and supporting. But I think if the age is reduced, it will provide and maintain for everyone.
What are you expecting from the president today?
I'm expecting the president to state more on the energy, to state more on employment, to fulfill the promises that were made previously.
Thank you so much. Let me just bring in this gentleman also into the frame. Uthi ubazwile abangani bakho bakhuluma bathi bafuna upresident and the ANC leadership to deal with issues of electricity and employment and many other issues wena bofuna ukuvani from the president.
Mina ku-president into le bengifuna ukukhuluma yona jabule kakhulu kule thuba lelinika lona. Thina ku-president lokho sifuna kona ukuthi dilenge le issue ye-unemployment, especially la ku-youth, because i-youth leningi ile unemployment rate iphakame kakhulu. Se uma angalwa lapho nale issue yegezi le issue load shedding nayo leyo akazama ukusilungisela lapho sibona ngathi into doba right usinokuthemba ukuthi kule executive le ekhethiwe njalo nokusebenzisana nayo konke lokho kutoyenteka nokuthemba ukuthi le executive sikhethile leadership le sober le itoyenza into ngendlela lethi right yonke into right service delivery konke live konke makhona yale country yabo.
Do you think that the ANC will still win the 2024 election?
Yes, I do think definitely the ANC will win the election of the 2024 because of the leadership which we have nominated right now at Nasrec. We are happy and we are sure that they are going to come with the concrete solutions to all these problems that we are facing as a country.
But are you not worried that the ANC is perceived as a party of corruption?
No, I'm not worried because I know even the party which even if there was another party.
Not the corruption. Corruption in alaba babambele ANC. Say akuchinje bona babuyele esmen esbengishide kale ukuthi sicela ukuthi president azame ukuthi nale cabinet bayikhethile enyuwan babuyise ANC le yakuzala sikhule seyathi yona nyako.
So kusho ukuthi ujabulile nge-step aside resolution ke? Sikhuluma nge-corruption uyasho ukuthi those who are corrupt must step aside.
Yes, mina ngijabulile nge-step aside resolution ngoba umuntu makawonile batakhona kumkhipha kuthi khomba ukuthi lo muntu loyo lapho ku-ANC abahambisana naye ngiyayisapota le resolution ye-step aside.
I'm very happy about the step aside resolution because it's going to solve many problems. It's going to eliminate all the people that were not working, that were in office.
And what is your message to other ANC members, who are watching from home? You guys speak about renewal, you speak about rebuilding the party. What is your message to other ANC members?
All I want to say to them is unity. The only thing that's going to make the ANC grow and become a bigger party and stay strong is unity. Unity all the way.
Well, these are various conversations and inputs coming out here from the various ANC members that have come out here just anticipating that speech and that address by ANC President Ramaphosa, which we expect to happen at 12. Of course, you've heard high on the agenda. They want the president to deal with the energy crisis, not only the ANC president, but of course this newly elected leadership, the top 7 officials, ANC, NEC members, those who are going to be deployed to government in these key institutions. Unemployment also high on the agenda, and of course the unity of the ANC. You've heard in their own voices they actually satisfied with the step aside resolution and wanted to be implemented uniformly and not to be used for factions. And that is what actually came out of the resolution of the ANC. With that said, let me just cross back to your studio for now. But of course, as SABC News, we do promise you to give you rolling coverage of the ANC's 111th celebration right here in Bloemfontein, in the heart of Bloemfontein Police.
Right, Natasha, we're certainly on standby and we'll be waiting for that. That's our reporter, Natasha Peary, making sure that we don't miss out on anything coming out of the Free State today. And of course, sheer scenes of euphoria coming out of there as people anticipating the president to deliver the January 8th statement there. And from some of the conversations that we've heard from Natasha throughout the course of this morning were, of course, around the bread and butter issues that people are facing that they expect the president to be tackling in his speech, as well as other issues such as corruption, as well as also give the ANC marching orders for the year ahead. We now cross back to our reporter who's also on standby, Kamogelo Siyekwi, who is outside the Randlai Petrus Molemela Stadium. This is also in Mangaung. Kamo, thank you so much for your time. I can see there's some people behind you. You've just given us an update around the logistics. What can you tell us right now and what's happening where you are?
Yes, there's definitely a stampede as people get excited that the time is approaching for the president to speak to them. We have with us a couple of artists, local artists, who are very excited actually to be performing at this auspicious occasion, they call it. We have
Lido.
Lido.
Yes.
Can you tell us where are you from and why are you so excited to be performing here today?
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. My name is Figile from Lido, one member of Lido. We are originally from Khotsong, Botaville, and we are here today. The reason we are excited, we are celebrating our country 111th year anniversary with our president Ntate Ramaphosa. Why we are excited? It's the very first time that we're gonna perform for the president, and the stadium full like this. It's not even full, it's overflowing.
Have you been inside the stadium to see that it's overflowing?
Yo, I can't be inside because look here, look around you. It's overflowing. It's full. We went inside actually just to check. It's very full inside, and we are super excited to be here today. And thank you guys for coming and having us today.
Troy M, you are from Botshabelo, right? And you are also performing. Is it also your first time performing at an ANC function?
It's actually the second time. But today, it's fully packed. Yeah.
And how does that make you feel to be performing in front of such a large crowd?
Happy. The feeling is
So tell me guys, your performance, obviously you're performing separately.
Yes.
What songs are you singing to the crowd? Are you singing them Zabalazo songs or are you singing gospel?
Not really. We're doing Sotho hip hop. Sotho hip hop and really Lido. Ntate Troy, he's an artist and he's our producer as well. Re tlo shapa bounce back, re tlo shapa toro, re jwetsa batho ba batjha hore tlamehile ba pushe ditoro tsa bona. No matter how hard it is, you have to pursue your dreams. Yeah.
Thank you so much guys for the interview, right?
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
You can see people are excited. I cannot even move where I am with the excitement that is happening in Bloemfontein. The artists are very happy that they are performing for the president of the ANC, and they are definitely going to push their performances this afternoon. I cannot even hear myself talking at the moment. With that, is back to you in studio.
Kamogelo Siyekwi watching that for us outside the stadium, and of course bringing us some of the conversations with the people ahead of the president's January 8th statement. We continue to watch it for you.